Landscape of the Soul, written by Nathalie Trouveroy. Let's see the summary of the story. Landscape of the Soul by Nathalie Trouveroy discusses the differences between Western and Chinese styles of painting. She uses two interesting stories to introduce these styles. First, it talks about the last painting done by Chinese master painter Yo Daoji. Yo Daoji lived in the 8th century. His last painting was commissioned by Emperor Zhuangzong of the Tang dynasty. Daozi painted a wonderful landscape on a palace wall. The painting was hidden behind a screen so that only the emperor could see it. The emperor admired the forest, the mountains, the waterfalls, and the clouds. One day, Daozi told the emperor that a spirit resided in the painting. He pointed towards a cave in the painting. Daozi then proceeded into the cave to show the way, but the painting closed behind him. Daozi and the painting vanished before the emperor's very eyes. In the second anecdote, Trouveroy narrates the story of a master blacksmith called Quentin Metzys. Quentin fell in love with the painter's daughter, but the painter would not accept him on account of his profession. So Quentin snuck into the painter's studio and painted a fly on his latest panel. The painting was so real that the master believed it to be a real fly. Quentin became the master's disciple and married his beloved. Having narrated these stories, Trouveroy now details the painting traditions behind them. The Western tradition rests on creating a perfect imitation of the actual world. A Western figurative painting recreates the landscape as the artist sees it from a specific angle. The Chinese tradition does not rest on a single viewpoint. Rather, the viewer can enter the painting from any angle. This is because the Chinese painting is a path to a higher spiritual plane rather than what is shown on the canvas. This notion is called conceptual space. The landscape of the painting mirrors the landscape of the soul. A Chinese painting requires an active participation from the viewer, especially when it is a horizontal scroll style of painting. When the viewer scrolls down the painting, he creates multiple viewing points. The painting is not fixed, rather, it shows different landscapes as the reader moves from the beginning to the end. This is called shanshui. The two words mountain and water symbolize the two complementary poles of yin and yang. Yin and yang are central to the Taoist view of the universe. The mountain is yang, which reaches towards the heavens, and the water is yin, which rests on the earth. The harmonious interaction between the two energies is one of the fundamental philosophies of Taoism. But Trouveroy emphasizes on a third element which is overlooked in general discussions on Taoist philosophy. This third element is the middle void, where the interaction between yin and yang occurs. We find a parallel of this concept in the Indian yogic practice of pranayama. The void is reflected in the white, unpainted space of Chinese painting. In human terms, man becomes the void, the conduit between the universe and the earth. He is the eye of the landscape who can make sense of the landscape and become an essential presence inside of it if he so desires.